The blue-skinned alien woman named Kiara lay on the examination table of the small rural clinic. She was trembling. Her scaled skin glistened with fever as she clutched her wounded arm close to her chest. Her 4 eyes darted nervously around the room, taking in the strange human medical equipment. Kiara had crashed on Earth 3 days ago. Her small scout ship malfunctioned after passing through an unexpected asteroid field. She managed to land in a remote forest, but sustained injuries during the rough landing. The poison from the damaged console had entered her bloodstream through a cut on her arm. The wound was now swollen with purple veins spreading outward. Dr. Maya Lewis entered the examination room and stopped in her tracks. She had received a call about an unusual patient, but nothing could have prepared her for the sight of a clearly non-human being on her table. Maya took a deep breath and approached slowly, not wanting to frighten the injured alien. She noticed how the creature cowered as she approached. Maya spoke softly, keeping her voice calm and even. "This might seem strange to you, but I want to help." Kiara understood the words. Her universal translator implant was functioning properly, but she was skeptical. Aliens on her home planet Neridia told stories about humans. They were described as primitive and hostile to outsiders. Her people believed humans would dissect any alien they encountered. Maya put on gloves and gently reached for the injured arm. Kiara hesitated, but the pain was becoming unbearable. She slowly extended her arm, revealing the festering wound. "The infection looks serious," Maya said, examining the unusual purple discoloration. "How long have you had this?" "3 of your Earth days," Kiara replied, her voice a melodic humming sound. "The poison from my ship entered the wound. It is fatal to my kind without treatment." Maya nodded, thinking quickly. Her medical training had never covered alien physiology, but infection was infection. The principles would be similar. She took samples and began analyzing them under her microscope. "I need to know about your biology, Kiara," she asked. "Are you allergic to any medications? What treatments would your doctors use?" Kiara explained that her blood contained copper instead of iron and that her immune system operated differently from humans. She described the antidotes her people used for such toxins. Maya spent hours researching, comparing samples, and developing a treatment plan. She called her friend Olivia, a biochemist, for consultation, sharing only hypothetical scenarios without revealing the true nature of her patient. Through the night, Maya worked tirelessly. The alien watched as the human doctor fought to save her life with the same dedication she would show any patient. By morning, Maya had created a treatment using modified antibiotics and compounds that would neutralize the poison. She administered the first dose and monitored Kiara closely. Kiara was surprised by the human doctor. She had expected to be treated as a specimen, not a patient. The care and concern Maya showed contradicted everything her species believed about humans. Hours passed, and the purple veins began to recede. The swelling decreased, and Kiara felt strength returning to her limb. Maya changed the bandages and smiled when she saw the improvement. "You should make a full recovery," she told Kiara. "With continued treatment, the infection will clear completely. Why are you helping me?" Kiara asked, her 4 eyes blinking in confusion. "My people say humans fear what is different." Maya sat beside the examination table. "We have our flaws," she admitted. "Some humans do fear differences, but many of us believe that compassion should extend to all living beings regardless of where they come from. Your life matters to me because you are a person in need, not because of what you look like." Over the next few days, Kiara stayed in a hidden room at the clinic. Maya continued treatments and they talked for hours, sharing stories. About their respective worlds, Kiara learned about human art, music, and philosophy, while Maya discovered the advanced mathematics and spiritual practices of Neridians. As Kiara recovered, she began helping Maya in the clinic, using her knowledge of advanced medicine to treat human patients. Her unique perspective often led to innovative approaches that Maya would never have considered. Word spread quietly about the miraculous treatments at the small clinic. Patients with difficult conditions began arriving from neighboring towns one evening. As Maya was closing up the clinic, she heard strange noises coming from outside. She peered through the window and saw 3 men in dark clothing approaching the back entrance. They carried flashlights and what looked like scientific equipment. Government agents, Maya whispered to herself. Someone must have reported seeing Kiara. She rushed to the hidden room where Kiara was resting. We need to leave now, she said urgently, grabbing a medical bag and stuffing it with supplies. People are coming who might want to take you away for study. Kiara stiffened with fear. Her worst nightmares about humans seemed to be coming true, but one human was trying to protect her. They slipped out through a hidden exit that Maya used for patients who needed privacy. The night was dark and cold as they made their way to Maya's old truck, parked behind the clinic. Just as they reached the vehicle, lights flooded the area. Stop. Right there, a male voice commanded, "We know you have an extraterrestrial entity." Maya pushed Kiara into the truck and jumped into the driver's seat. She started the engine and sped away down the dirt road. The headlights of another vehicle appeared behind them. "Where are we going?" Kiara asked, clutching the dashboard as the truck bounced over the uneven terrain. "To my friend Patty. She has a cabin in the mountains. No one knows about it. We will be safe there." The chase continued for miles along winding country roads, Maya taking shortcuts and back roads that only locals knew. Eventually, they lost their pursuers and arrived at a small wooden cabin nestled among tall pine trees. Patty stood on the porch, a shotgun in her hands. Her eyes widened at the sight of Kiara, but she quickly composed herself. "So this is why you've been so secretive lately," she said to Maya, lowering her weapon. "Come inside quickly." The cabin was warm and cozy. A fire crackled in the stone fireplace. Patty, a retired nurse, showed no fear of Kiara, only curiosity and concern for her condition. Maya explained their situation while checking Kiara's wound. The treatment was working, but the stress of their escape had taken a toll. "They will be searching everywhere," Patty said. "We need to contact someone who can help get you both to safety." Kiara spoke up, her voice soft but determined. "I can send a signal to my people. They will come for me. But it will take time, and the signal might be detected by your government." Maya and Patty exchanged glances, weighing their options. Maya decided, "We can't keep running. And my clinic. My patients need me." That night, Kiara used components from Maya's medical equipment and Patty's old radio to build a small transmitter. She sent a coded message into space, a distress call that only Neridian ships would recognize. "Now we wait," she said. Days passed with no sign of pursuers. The 3 women settled into a routine. Kiara continued to recover while teaching Maya and Patty about Neridian medicine. In return, they shared stories about Earth history, culture, and the natural beauty of their planet. One night, as they sat by the fire, Kiara revealed more about her mission. "I was sent to observe Earth, to determine if humans were ready for first contact. My people have been watching your planet for decades. Some believe you are too violent, too divided to join the galactic community. Others think you have potential. What do you think now?" Maya asked. "I think they only saw part of the picture," Kiara replied, her 4 eyes reflecting the firelight. "You are capable of great kindness, great courage. When my people come, I will tell them this." A week after their escape, Kiara's transmitter began to beep softly. She rushed to it, excitement and relief on her alien features. "They have received my message," she announced. "They will arrive in 2 Earth days." Maya felt a strange mixture of emotions. Relief that Kiara would be safe. Sadness that their time together would end. And fear. What would Kiara's people think of Earth? Would they come in peace, or would they see the humans who had chased them as representatives of all humanity? As if reading her thoughts, Kiara placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. "My people will listen to me," she assured her. "You have shown me the true heart of humanity. That is what I will tell them." The morning before the arrival of the Neridian ship, Maya, Patty, and Kiara sat at the small wooden table in the cabin planning their next move. They needed to reach a clearing large enough for the ship to land without being spotted by government agents. Patty unfolded a map of the surrounding forest, pointing to a location 5 miles north of the cabin. "There used to be an old logging site up here," she explained. "It's been abandoned for years. plenty of open space and far enough from any roads or towns that no one should see. The ship. Kiara studied the map, her four eyes blinking in sequence. It will work, she agreed. The ship can land there without detection. How long will it take us to reach this place on foot? About 3 hours, Maya said. We should leave at nightfall to reduce the chance of being seen. As they prepared for the journey, Patty packed food and water while Maya gathered medical supplies, just in case Kiara's condition worsened. Kiara herself seemed lost in thought, her blue, scaled skin reflecting the afternoon sunlight from the cabin window. Are you worried about something? Maya asked, noticing her friend's distraction. Kiara turned to face her on. My world, we have a saying. A truth revealed cannot be hidden again, she said. I was not authorized to make contact with humans. My mission was observation only. Now everything will change because of me. Because of you. What do you think will happen? Maya asked. My superiors will decide whether to proceed with official first contact, or to retreat and postpone relations with Earth for another century. A century, Maya exclaimed. That seems so extreme. Kiara made a sound that might have been a laugh. My species lives for nearly 500 of your years. What seems like an eternity to you is merely patience to us. Night fell and the three women began their journey through the dense forest. They moved slowly with only the light of a half moon to guide them. Kiara was still weak from her injury, but determined to keep pace. Patty led the way, familiar with the mountain trails from years of hiking in the area. After 2 hours of walking, they heard the distant sound of vehicles on the main road. Helicopters too. Maya whispered as the faint chopping sound reached their ears. They must be searching the area. They veered deeper into the forest, away from the road, moving as quietly as possible. The undergrowth became thicker, slowing their progress. Every snapping twig and rustling leaf seemed amplified in the quiet night. Suddenly, a bright light swept over the trees ahead. The beam of a searchlight from a helicopter down. Patty hissed, pulling the others under the low branches of an evergreen tree. They lay still, barely breathing, as the light passed over them once, twice, and then moved on. The sound of the helicopter gradually faded, but they remained hidden for several more minutes. That was too close, Maya whispered. We need to be more careful. They continued their journey, moving from shadow to shadow, using the trees as cover. An hour later, they reached the edge of the clearing Patty had described. The open area was bathed in moonlight, a perfect landing site. Now we wait, Kiara said. She removed a small device from her pocket and activated it. A soft blue light began to pulse. The signal is sent. They will be here within hours. They found shelter at the edge of the clearing beneath the spreading branches of an ancient oak tree. Patty shared the food she had packed. While they ate, Maya noticed Kiara staring up at the stars with an expression that seemed like longing. Will you miss Earth? She asked. Kiara considered the question. Her head tilted to one side. I will miss you, she said finally. And Patty. And the beauty of this forest. There are no trees like these on Neridia. Our world is mostly ocean with small rocky islands. We build our cities upward, not outward. Tell us more about your home, Maya asked, eager to learn about the alien world. Kiara described the towering crystal spires of Neridian cities, the vast underwater farms where they grew their food, the schools where young Neridians spent 50 years learning science, art, and history. She spoke of the council of elders who governed their society and the explorers' guild to which she belonged. It sounds wonderful, Patty said. It is, Kiara agreed, but it is not perfect. We have our own problems, our own divisions. Some Neridians believe we should share our technology with less advanced worlds. Others think that would cause more harm than good. It is why we observe, for so long before making contact. The hours passed in conversation. As the eastern sky began to lighten with the first hint of dawn, Kiara's device beeped loudly. They are entering Earth's atmosphere, she announced. They will be here in minutes, as if on cue. They heard the distant sound of vehicles approaching along the logging road that led to the clearing. How did they find us? Maya gasped. Her heart raced with fear. They might have detected the signal. Kiara said, her voice tight with concern. We need to hide, Patty urged. No, Kiara replied firmly. This is my fault, I will face them. I will explain. Before Maya could protest, a blinding light appeared in the sky above them. A large circular object descended slowly toward the center of the clearing, made no sound and seemed to glow from within. As it neared the ground, the air around it shimmered like heat waves on a summer road. At the same time, 4 black SUVs burst into the clearing from the old logging road. Men in dark suits poured out weapons, drawn. They formed a line facing the descending ship Maya, and Patty watched in terrified fascination from their hiding place. Kiara stood tall, her blue skin almost luminous in the combined light of the dawn and the spacecraft. The ship settled gently. On the ground, a seam appeared in its smooth surface, widening into a doorway. 3 tall figures emerged. They were clearly Neridian, with the same blue-scaled skin and multiple eyes as Kiara, but they wore what appeared to be ceremonial robes in deep purple with silver symbols. The government agents raised their weapons. One man shouted orders that Maya couldn't hear clearly from her position. Kiara stepped forward, placing herself between the 2 groups. Her voice rang out clear and commanding. Lower. Your weapons, humans. These are diplomatic representatives of Neridia. They come in peace to Maya's. Surprised, the man who seemed to be in charge signaled his team to lower their guns. He stepped forward, removing his sunglasses. Dr. Heather Carson, Director of Extraterrestrial Research, he announced. I believe we have a mutual interest in peaceful communication. One of the Neridians moved to stand beside Kiara. It spoke in a deeper version of Kiara's melodic voice, perfectly translated to English. I am Elder Zoran, lead diplomat of the Neridian Council. We did not expect to reveal ourselves to your authorities so soon. I apologize, Elder Kiara said, bowing her head. It was necessary to call for rescue. My ship crashed and I was injured. These humans saved my life. The Elder turned all 4 eyes toward Maya and Patty, who had cautiously emerged from their hiding place. Is this true? The Elder asked. Yes, Maya replied, finding her courage. I am a doctor. I treated Kiara's wound. Doctor. Carson stepped closer. Her expression intense. You hid an alien visitor from your government doctor. That is a serious offense. It was my decision. Elder Zoran interrupted. I told Kiara to remain hidden during her mission. Standard protocol for observation assignments. Maya glanced at Kiara, realizing the Elder was lying to protect her. And Patty. Dr. Carson seemed skeptical but nodded slowly. We have been tracking unusual energy signatures in this area for weeks. We suspected extraterrestrial activity, but had no concrete evidence until now. The tension in the clearing was palpable. Neither side seemed willing to back down. Maya feared that any wrong move could spark conflict. Then Kiara did something unexpected. She walked to Maya and took her hand, then to Patty and did the same. Finally, she approached Dr. Carson and extended her hand in the human gesture of greeting. My mission was to observe, to learn about humans. She said, I have learned that you are capable of great compassion and also great fear. These 2 humans risked everything to help me, a stranger from another world. They represent the best of humanity. I believe our peoples can learn from each other if we begin with trust. Dr. Carson hesitated, then shook Kiara's hand. The Elder Zoran stepped forward. Perhaps it is time to discuss a formal diplomatic relationship between our worlds, he suggested, one based on mutual respect and exchange of knowledge. Dr. Carson nodded. I am authorized to begin such discussions. As the sun rose fully above the trees, Maya watched in amazement as human and Neridian representatives began to talk. Their voices grew more animated, friendly. Even Kiara moved between the groups, translating cultural nuances that the universal translators might miss. Patty leaned close to Maya. Can you believe we are witnessing first contact? She whispered. Maya shook her head, still processing the incredible events unfolding before them. This is just the beginning, she replied. And it all started because we chose to help rather than fear. 3 months had passed since the historic first meeting in the forest clearing. Maya sat in her clinic office reviewing patient files. The small rural hospital had changed dramatically since that day. New wing additions were under construction. and advanced medical equipment unlike anything she'd seen before filled the examination rooms. Dr. Carson had kept her promise. After the initial negotiations with the Neridians, the government acknowledged Maya's role in facilitating first contact. Instead of punishment, she was appointed head of the new interspecies medical exchange program. Her small clinic became the center for studying how Neridian medical techniques could be adapted for human patients. Maya looked up as Kiara entered the office. The alien woman moved with more confidence now. Her wound had healed completely, leaving only a faint purple mark on her blue skin. She wore a combination of human and Neridian clothing, a white lab coat over her traditional scaled bodysuit. The latest test results are promising, Kiara announced, placing a tablet on Maya's desk. The modified regeneration therapy is showing a 90% success rate in human tissue samples. Maya scrolled through the data, amazed by the implications. This could revolutionize treatment for burn victims, nerve damage, even spinal injuries. Kiara nodded, all four of her eyes blinking in sequence. A gesture Maya had learned indicated excitement. The council has approved the next phase, she said. They will send 3 more medical specialists next month to help expand the program. Maya leaned back in her chair, still sometimes overwhelmed by how quickly everything had changed. Did you ever imagine this would be the result of your crashed scout ship? She asked. Kiara made the trilling sound that was her species' version of laughter. I was supposed to observe humans for 5 years, then return with a report. That was the plan. Instead, I changed the course of 2 civilizations. A knock at the door interrupted their conversation. Patty entered carrying a tray of coffee cups. She had been hired as the community liaison, helping locals adjust to the presence of alien visitors in their small town. Thought you two could use a caffeine break, she said, setting the tray down. Kiara has gotten quite addicted to our earth beverages. Kiara picked up a cup gratefully. Your coffee is one of the best discoveries I have made on this planet, she admitted, though. It makes my skin turn a darker blue for hours. They sat together, enjoying a moment of quiet companionship amid their busy schedules. When the silence was comfortable, Patty spoke. The town council meeting is tonight, she said. The vote on the new cultural center. Maya nodded. The proposed Neridian Human Cultural Center had been a source of controversy. Some residents welcomed the economic benefits and technological advantages the alien presence brought. Others feared the rapid changes to their quiet town. Do you think it will pass? She asked. Patty shrugged hard to say there are still those who think we're moving too fast. But support has grown, especially since the medical breakthroughs. The clinic comm system chimed, interrupting their conversation. Dr. Lewis, Dr. Carson is here to see you with 2 Neridian officials, the receptionist announced. Show them in, Maya replied, exchanging surprised glances with Kiara. They weren't expecting government representatives today. Dr. Carson entered, followed by Elder Zoran and another Neridian Maya didn't recognize. This second alien was taller than Zoran, with darker blue scales and ceremonial markings on his face. Maya, Dr. Carson began without preamble. This is High Elder Nax. He has just arrived from Neridia and requested to meet you immediately. Maya stood, extending her hand in greeting. The High Elder studied her for a moment before taking her hand in his long, slender fingers. Dr. Maya Lewis, the High Elder said, his voice deeper and more resonant than other Neridians she had met. Your actions have caused quite a stir among my people. Some call you a hero. Others say you have interfered with the natural course of our civilization's development. Maya felt a chill run through her. She glanced at Kiara, who stood rigidly beside her clearly tense High Elder. I only did what any doctor would do, she responded carefully. I treated someone who needed medical help. The High Elder was silent, his multiple eyes unblinking. Finally he spoke. The council has been debating the Earth situation for months. Some wish to withdraw all Neridian personnel and return to our observation. Only policy. Maya's heart sank. She looked at Dr. Carson, whose expression remained carefully neutral. But I have come to see for myself, the Elder continued. And I have reviewed the medical advancements your collaboration has produced. He turned to Kiara. Explorer Kiara. Your mission report was most compelling. Your assessment of human potential, particularly this human, has influenced many on the council. Kiara bowed slightly, a gesture of respect. I reported. Only what I observed, High Elder. The Elder made a gesture with his hands that Maya didn't recognize but caused Kiara to relax visibly. The council has reached a decision, the High Elder announced. We will expand our cooperation with Earth. We believe both our worlds can benefit from this relationship. Maya felt relief wash over her. She hadn't realized how worried she had been about the Neridians withdrawing. Thank you, High Elder, she said sincerely. We hope to prove worthy of your trust. The Elder made a sound that might have been amusement. It is not a matter of worthiness, Dr. Lewis. It is a matter of timing. Every species reaches a point where it must join the larger community of worlds or remain isolated. Some are ready. Others are not. We believe Earth stands at this threshold. Dr. Carson stepped forward. The President has authorized me to extend an invitation. She said, the United Nations General Assembly would like to welcome a Neridian delegation next month. It would be the first public's acknowledgement of your presence on Earth. The High Elder considered this public knowledge brings complications but also opportunities. We accept this invitation. After the meeting concluded, Maya, Kiara, and Patty found themselves alone in the office. Again, that was intense, Maya said, exhaling deeply. Kiara nodded. The High Elder rarely leaves Neridia. His presence here shows how seriously the Council takes this situation. Patty looked thoughtful. Everything is moving so fast. First your clinic. Now the United Nations. What's next? The expansion of human consciousness. Kiara said simply, the universe is vast and filled with wonders. Your people have been alone looking up at the stars, wondering. Now you will know. Later that evening, Maya attended the town council meeting. The small community hall was packed with residents. The mayor called for order as debate about the cultural center grew heated. Maya sat quietly listening to both sides. Local business owner Lou complained about aliens taking over the town, while schoolteacher Gail spoke passionately about educational opportunities for the children. When it was her turn to speak, Maya stood addressing her neighbors, many of whom had been her patients for years. I understand change is frightening, she began. I was scared too when I first found Kiara in my clinic. But fear shouldn't stop us from growing. We have been given an amazing opportunity. Not just for medical advancements, but to expand our understanding of life itself. She paused, looking around the room. The Neridians aren't here to change who we are. They respect our customs, our independence, but they offer friendship, knowledge, and yes, help with our problems. What makes us human isn't our isolation, but our ability to connect with others, even those who seem different. The vote that followed was close, but the cultural center was approved. Construction would begin the following month. That night, Maya stood on the porch of her small house looking up at the stars Kiara had pointed out, the faint bluish star that was her home sun. It seemed so distant yet now so connected to Earth. The sound of a car pulling into her driveway drew her attention. Dr. Carson stepped out holding a folder. Sorry to disturb you so late, she said, but I thought you should see this immediately. She handed Maya the folder. Inside were photographs of a strange object in orbit around Earth. What am I looking at? Maya asked. A Neridian defense platform, Carson replied. It appeared yesterday after the High Elder's arrival. They claim it's standard procedure to protect diplomatic missions. Maya studied the images with growing concern. Are we in danger? Dr. Carson shook her head. Not from the Neridians, but they know something they haven't shared with us. Their sudden interest in public relations with Earth, the defense platform, the accelerated medical program. Something has changed in their assessment of our situation. Maya remembered Kiara's words from months ago. Some believe you are too violent, too divided to join the galactic community. What do you think it means? She asked. I don't know, Carson admitted. But the President has authorized me to form a special advisory committee. We need humans who understand the Neridians, who have worked closely with them. People they trust. You want me on this committee? You, Patty, and a few others who have direct experience, Dr. Carson confirmed. We need people who see them as people, not just aliens. Maya thought about the changes already transforming her small town, her clinic, her world. The pace was dizzying but exhilarating. "I'll help however I can," she agreed. Dr. Carson nodded, then hesitated before speaking again. "There's one more thing. The intelligence division intercepted a transmission from the Neridian ship to their homeworld. The encryption was complex, but we managed to translate part of it." She pulled another paper from her folder and handed it to Maya. The message was brief: advanced timeline. Proxima presence confirmed near Sol system. Humans must be prepared. Maya read it twice, then looked up questioningly. Carson shrugged. "We don't know what it means, but whatever is happening, the Neridians seem to think we need to be ready for something, and soon." Maya found Kiara in the new laboratory section of the clinic. The alien woman was bent over a microscope studying tissue samples. Her 4 eyes focused intently on her work. She didn't look up when Maya entered. "Kiara, we need to talk," Maya said, closing the door behind her. Something in her tone made Kiara straighten immediately. All 4 eyes fixed on Maya, assessing her expression. "What has happened?" Maya handed her the intercepted message. Kiara read it, her scaled skin changing color, slightly darkening to a deeper blue, a sign of stress or concern Maya had learned. "How did you get this?" she asked, her voice unusually. "Flat Dr. Carson brought it to me," Maya replied. "What does it mean, Kiara? Who are the Proxima? What aren't you telling us, Kiara?" Set down the message and turned away, staring out the window at the night sky. For a long moment she said nothing. When she finally spoke, her voice was soft. "The Proxima are the reason we came to your solar system. The reason we have observed Earth for so long." Turned back to Maya. "They are not like us or you. They do not seek understanding or cooperation. They expand, they consume. They conquer." Maya felt a cold weight settle in her stomach. "You're talking about hostile aliens." Kiara made a gesture with her hands. "A Neridian expression of confirmation. 5 of your centuries ago they attacked Neridia. We were unprepared. We lost 2 colony worlds before we developed defenses strong enough to push them back. Since then we have been in what you might call a cold war, watching, preparing." "But what does this have to do with Earth?" Maya asked. "Your solar system lies in a strategically important region of space," Kiara explained. "If the Proxima gain control here, they could threaten multiple civilized worlds, including Neridia. We have been monitoring their movements. They have scouts near your system now." The implications hit Maya like a physical blow. "So all of this," she gestured around them at the clinic. "The advanced medical equipment, the cultural exchange, the technology sharing. It's not about friendship at all. It's about preparing Earth as a buffer against your enemies." Kiara's skin rippled with color, a sign of strong emotion. "No, Maya, that is not true." She moved closer. "We do value the connection with humans. Your compassion, your creativity. These are real. These are worth protecting. But yes, the Council accelerated contact when we detected Proxima activity." She placed a hand on Maya's arm. "I crashed here by accident. My mission was observation only. But meeting, you changed everything. You showed me what humans are capable of. You made me believe that cooperation was possible, necessary. Even I advocated for Earth when I returned." Maya pulled away, still processing this revelation. "And the defense platform in orbit a precaution," Kiara admitted. "The Proxima could send scouts at any time. We needed to establish a presence here." Maya paced the room, trying to make sense of everything. "So Earth is caught in the middle of an interstellar conflict we knew nothing about. And now you're arming our orbit." "That is one perspective," Kiara acknowledged. "Another is that Earth has gained powerful allies, advanced technology and protection against a threat you were completely unaware of and unprepared for." Maya stopped, pacing, and faced Kiara directly. "Does Dr. Carson know all of this?" "Not everything. The High Elder will brief your government representatives tomorrow. They will learn the full situation." Maya sank into a chair, overwhelmed. The excitement of first contact, the wonder of learning about a new civilization now seemed naive. Earth's introduction to the galactic community wasn't the peaceful awakening she'd imagined. It was a strategic move in a cosmic chess game. Kiara knelt beside her. "I am sorry, this is not how I wanted you to learn the truth." But know this, Maya Lewis. Whatever strategic value Earth holds to the Neridian Council, my friendship with you is real. When I tell them about humans, about their potential, I speak from my experience with you, Maya. Looked into Kiara's alien eyes, searching for deception, finding none. What happens now, she asked. Finally, Kiara stood, moving to a secure panel on the wall. She placed her hand against it, and a hidden compartment opened. She removed what looked like a data crystal. The High Elder authorized me to show you this. Only a few humans will see it. She inserted the crystal into a slot on the lab computer. The screen lit up, showing what appeared to be a star map. Kiara touched certain controls in the image, zoomed in to show Earth's solar system. The blue markers are Neridian positions, she explained. The red ones are confirmed. Proxima sightings within the last Earth year. Maya counted over a dozen red markers scattered throughout the region surrounding their solar system. They are watching us, she whispered. Just as we have watched you, Kiara confirmed. But with different intent. The image changed, showing a recording from what must have been a Neridian ship. A massive dark vessel shaped like a jagged shard moved silently through space. Energy weapons fired, destroying a smaller craft that fled before it. This was recorded 2 years ago at the edge of the Centauri system. Kiara narrated, a research vessel attacked without warning. All hands lost. She showed more recordings. More attacks. Planets with strange burn patterns visible from orbit, cities in ruins. The Proxima do not communicate. She continued. They do not negotiate. They see other species as resources, nothing more. The final image showed a being unlike anything Maya had imagined, tall with a chitinous exoskeleton and multiple limbs. Its face, if it could be called that, was a complex arrangement of sensory organs. No eyes, no mouth that she could recognize. Just alien, utterly alien there. Biology is silicon-based, Kiara explained. They consume minerals, rare elements. They see planets as mining opportunities, and the species on them as obstacles. Maya stared at the image, trying to comprehend a life form so different from anything on Earth. Why show me this? Because tomorrow everything changes, Kiara said. The world you knew ends. When your people learn. They are not alone in the universe. That was one revelation. When they learn they are in danger. That is another, entirely. I wanted you to understand first. Because I trust you, Maya looked at her friend, this being from another world who had entered her life by chance. A crashed ship. An injured alien, a moment of compassion that had altered the course of 2 civilizations and, now perhaps, had drawn Earth into an interstellar conflict. What can I do? She asked. Kiara removed the crystal, returning the screen to normal. Help your people understand, she said. This is not a war yet. The Proxima move, slowly, testing, probing. We have time to prepare, years perhaps, but prepare we must. Her expression softened. And remember what brought us together? It was not strategy, not politics. It was one being helping another in need. That connection, that understanding. That is what we fight to preserve. The next morning, Maya sat beside Patty in a secure conference room at a military base 300 miles from their small town. Dr. Carson stood at the front of the room beside the High Elder Zoran and 2 human generals. The room was filled with government officials, scientists, and military personnel, all watching, as the same images Maya had seen last night played on a large screen. The reactions ranged from shock to disbelief to outright fear. One scientist stood up, declaring it must be a hoax. A general demanded to know why Earth hadn't been informed sooner. Another questioned if the Neridians themselves were the true threat, using the Proxima as a cover story. Through it all, Maya watched the faces around her, seeing the world she knew transform before her eyes. Humanity was confronting not just the reality of alien life, but the prospect of alien threat. The innocence of first contact was gone, replaced by the harsh reality of a dangerous universe. When the initial briefing ended, the room broke into smaller discussion groups. Maya found herself approached by Dr. Carson. You don't seem surprised, she observed. Kiara showed me last night, Maya admitted. Carson nodded. She said she would. Said you needed to know first. Am not sure. if that was protocol, but she insisted you were crucial to human understanding of Neridians. Maya looked across the room where Kiara stood with the High Elder, both watching the human reactions carefully. "What happens next?" she asked. Carson gestured to the chaos of the room first. This panic, denial, anger, then acceptance. "We form a united response." She looked directly at Maya. "The Neridians are offering a formal alliance. Defense technology, medical advancements, space travel capabilities in exchange for Earth becoming a forward base in this sector, and if we refuse," Carson shrugged slightly, "then we face whatever comes alone." Maya thought about her small clinic, about the patients whose lives had been saved by Neridian medical techniques, about Kiara, who had crashed on a strange world and found friendship instead of fear. "I need to speak to the room," she said suddenly. Carson seemed surprised but nodded. "I'll arrange it." 10 minutes later, Maya stood before the assembled officials. Her heart pounded in her chest, but her voice was steady. "My name is Maya Lewis," she began. "I'm a doctor from a small rural clinic. 3 months ago, I treated an injured alien who crashed near my town. I did what any doctor would do. I helped someone in need." She looked around the room, making eye contact with as many people as possible. "Since then, I've worked alongside Neridians. I've seen their technology, their medicine, their culture. They are different from us. Yes, but they value life. They seek understanding. They keep their promises." She took a deep breath. "The universe we thought we knew has changed. We are not alone. And now we learn we may not be safe. But we have been offered a hand in friendship, a chance to join something larger than ourselves." She gestured toward Kiara and the other Neridians. "I have seen what we can accomplish together, the lives we can save, the knowledge we can share. Yes, there are risks, but there are also opportunities beyond anything we could have imagined." 1 year after the revelation of the Proxima threat, Maya stood on the observation deck of the newly constructed Neridian Human Joint Defense Station. The massive structure orbited Earth, providing both protection and a symbol of the alliance between the two species. Through the reinforced viewport, she could see her home planet below, a swirl of blue and white against the blackness of space. So much had changed in 12 months. The initial fear and panic had given way to a determined global cooperation, unprecedented in human history. Old enemies set aside their differences, faced with the reality of a common threat. Beyond their world, nations pooled resources, shared technology, and prepared together. Maya had been appointed head of the Interspecies Medical Corps, a new organization dedicated to combining human and Neridian medical knowledge. Her small clinic was now a major research center with staff from around the world and several Neridian specialists. Kiara joined her at the viewport. Her friend had been named ambassador to Earth, a position that recognized her unique role in bringing their species together. "The lunar base is ahead of schedule," Kiara remarked. "The defense grid will be operational within months." Maya nodded. The joint lunar base represented the most advanced human construction project in history. Built with Neridian assistance, it would serve as both a military outpost and a scientific research station. "It's hard to believe how far we've come," she said. "How quickly." "We adapted." Kiara made the trilling sound of Neridian laughter. "Your species has always been adaptable. It's one of your greatest strengths. When faced with challenges, humans innovate. When threatened, you unite." These qualities impressed the council. Maya turned from the viewport to face her friend. "Any news from the border monitoring stations?" Kiara's expression grew serious, all 4 eyes focusing in the way that indicated concern. 3 more Proxima scout ships detected near the Kuiper Belt. They retreated when approached by our patrols, but they are growing bolder. Testing our defenses, Maya felt the familiar tension that had become part of her daily life. The constant awareness of potential threat. Yet mixed with that tension was a strange sense of purpose. Humanity had found a new focus, a reason to put aside old conflicts and work toward a common goal. Dr. Carson approached them, data tablet in hand. Her role had expanded as well. She now served as Earth liaison to the Neridian High Command. "The new vaccine production facility is online," she announced to Maya. 5 times the capacity we had before. All major population centers should be covered within 6 months. Maya took the tablet, reviewing the statistics. The medical advances of the past year had been remarkable. Diseases that once plagued humanity were being eliminated one by one, thanks to Neridian biotechnology, adapted for human physiology, and the neural interface training program. Carson continued, turning to Kiara. "We've selected the first 100 candidates, top pilots from every nation. They begin next week." Kiara nodded in approval. The neural interface was perhaps the most significant technology transfer, yet allowing humans to operate advanced Neridian ships and weapons systems. The learning curve was steep, but selected humans had shown remarkable aptitude. A soft chime sounded throughout the station. "Admiral Kelly requests your presence in the command center," Carson said. "The first deep space reconnaissance fleet is preparing to depart." They made their way through the station's corridors, passing humans and Neridians working side by side. The initial awkwardness between the species had gradually faded, replaced by professional respect, and in many cases friendship. Humans had proved remarkably accepting of their alien allies once the initial shock wore off. The command center was a hive of activity. Screens displayed star charts, ship positions, and data feeds from various sensor arrays. Around a central holographic display stood military leaders from Earth and Neridia. Admiral Kelly, a stern woman with decades of naval experience, nodded as they entered. "Dr. Ambassador," she acknowledged. "We're making history today. The first human-crewed vessels to leave the war solar system." The holographic display showed 5 ships, sleek and powerful. The lead vessel, named Unity, was a hybrid design combining Neridian technology with human engineering. 3 of the ships were crewed by humans trained by Neridian pilots. The other 2 were Neridian vessels providing escort and support. Their mission: reconnaissance of the Centauri system, the likely approach vector for any Proxima incursion. A 3-month journey to establish sensor arrays and monitoring stations. The first line of defense beyond Earth's solar system. Maya watched as final preparations were made. The ship's crews, mostly former military pilots, had trained for months in simulators and short-range flights. Now they would venture further than any humans had gone before. Elder Zoran entered the command center, his ceremonial robes replaced by the more practical uniform of the Joint Defense Force. He had become a familiar figure on Earth, appearing at diplomatic functions and defense planning sessions. "This mission marks a new chapter in our alliance," he announced, his translator conveying the formal tones of a prepared speech. "For millennia, your people looked to the stars and wondered. Now you take your place among them, not as observers, but as defenders. Not just of Earth, but of all free species." Admiral Kelly nodded solemnly. "We go with pride and purpose," she replied. "Unity and the fleet stand ready." The launch countdown began. Maya found herself holding her breath as the numbers approached 0. On the main view screen, the ship's engines flared to life. A cheer erupted in the command center as the fleet accelerated away from Earth, heading for the distant stars. Kiara placed a hand on Maya's shoulder. "Your people have come so far so quickly," she said softly. "Even the council is impressed. Some said humans would fracture when faced with the truth that your divisions would make alliance impossible. They were wrong." Maya thought about the past year. The global cooperation, the technological advances, the cultural exchange, all born from a moment of crisis. Yet there had been beauty in it too. Humanity discovering they were not alone, finding their place in a larger community. "We still have our problems," she admitted, watching the fleet grow, smaller on the screen. "But knowing what's out there, what we're facing, it gives us perspective." That evening, Maya returned to her quarters on the station. She had a small apartment but spent little time there. Her work kept her busy traveling between the station Earth and the lunar base. She opened her personal tablet, scrolling through messages from Patty, who now ran the cultural exchange program in their hometown. A notification appeared on her screen. A priority transmission from one of the border monitoring stations. She opened it, heart racing. When she read the contents, she immediately called Kiara. "They've found something," she said, when the alien answered. "A signal. Not Proxima. Not Neridian. Something new. Within an hour. Maya, Kiara, Doctor. Carson and Admiral Kelly gathered in a secure briefing room Elder Zoran joined via holographic projection. The monitoring station commander, a young Neridian named Telax, appeared on the main screen. "We detected the signal 18 Earth hours ago," he reported. "It does not match any known pattern in our database. It appears to be artificial in origin, coming from a star system 30 light-years from Earth. And you're certain it's not?" "Proxima," Elder Zoran asked. Telax confirmed. "Their communications use quantum entanglement, not electromagnetic waves." "This is different." Structured mathematical, Maya felt a chill run down her spine. Another alien civilization. "Possibly," Admiral Kelly said, "or an automated beacon, or something we can't even conceive of, VI. "Question is," Kiara interjected, "do we respond?" The room fell silent. Each person considering the implications, another unknown in an already uncertain universe. The discovery highlighted how much remained to be explored, how much humans still had to learn. Elder Zoran spoke first. "The Council must be consulted. This decision affects all allied species." Admiral Kelly nodded. "Earth governments will need to confer as well. This goes beyond military protocol." As the others debated, Maya found herself thinking about that day in her clinic when she had first treated Kiara's wound. A simple act of compassion that had changed everything. Now humanity faced another moment of choice. Another unknown. Dr. Carson noticed her silence. "What are you thinking?" Maya looked around the room at these people, human and Neridian, who had become her colleagues and friends. "I'm thinking about how far we've come," she said. "A year ago, most humans didn't believe alien life existed. Now we're debating whether to answer a message from a second extraterrestrial civilization." She smiled slightly. "And I'm thinking about what makes us who we are. When I treated Kiara, I didn't know she was an alien scout. I just knew she needed help. That choice, that instinct to reach out, rather than turn away. That's what I hope we keep no matter what comes next." Kiara's skin rippled with color, a sign of emotion Maya had learned to recognize. "The Proxima threat brought our worlds together," she said. "Perhaps this new discovery will unite us further." Admiral Kelly looked thoughtful. "We should send Unity to investigate. Once they've completed their mission in the Centauri system, they have the best trained crew, the most advanced sensors." Elder Zoran agreed. "A joint mission would be appropriate. The Council will provide additional support as." The meeting continued, planning the response. Maya found herself drawn to the viewport. The stars seemed different now. Not distant points of light, but places, homes to civilizations, friends and potential enemies alike. The universe had become both larger and smaller, vast in its scope yet connected in ways humans were only beginning to understand.